clearly cracked really badly. How did a plastic bag get inside there? I don't know. Either way, what I'm gonna have to do, grind all of this out and then all the way across the top, and then lay up some new glass across the whole thing. There's really not a lot of material left here. I guess we'll just lay up some glass and hopefully it'll be good.
For a long time, the second floor on my dinghy would leak, and after a week or so would be completely full of water, and it would make it very difficult to even get the boat up onto plane if there was more than 2 people in it. So I've ground the hull down to glass, and now I'm laying up new fiberglass with epoxy to hopefully fix any of the leaks. What am I wearing? Maybe it's time to turn this shirt into a rag.
I ended up only doing 1 layer of triaxle and then another layer of just the chop strand, and it's pretty good. So I'm gonna let this cure, grind it off tomorrow, and add some paint. It's a rainy morning this morning, which kind of sucks because I feel like I'm finally starting to make some steady progress. Okay, so this spot right here has been the only area that I didn't fill with foam, and it's actually because I ran out of foam. And I've been contemplating what I wanted to do. I went to the store where I bought the expanding foam from, and they were out of the 2-part, so they couldn't even sell it to me in a small amount. All I had was spray foam, so we're gonna try to make do with just this. Hopefully it's okay. So I had to go buy another can of this. It's over here. The GC. This is also why I don't really trust this stuff. If it doesn't have air, it doesn't harden. Look at that. We've got a big cavity here. I'm kind of worried that this is gonna overly expand. But whatever. Today I'm doing more sanding. This back spot. This feels like it's never ending.
My outboard hadn't been worked on in a really long time. I'd been neglecting it for quite a while, so yeah, now that it's out of the water and easy to work on, I figured it's probably the best time to get some of this done.
Can you see them? I just did some quick maintenance there. Oil change, gear oil change, and spark plugs. The outboard hasn't ran for over 2 months, so now I'm doing it. And we should be good for the next couple months. All right, my dinghy's painted. And I'm going to drill the hole here. Hopefully I put it in the right spot.
My dinghy has a second floor in it, and this just makes it so that instead of having like a V and making it hard to walk around in, where you stand in the dinghy is flat, essentially. They've glassed in a flat floor, making it so that there's a little bit of a hole underneath. I don't know. I don't know how to describe what's going on right now. It's pretty simple. And later on I found out that the water's getting in through the storage compartment in the front of the boat. If water gets down inside there, it's able to flow into the second floor, and that's why water poured out of here. Hopefully that makes sense.
Anyone recognize my shirt that is now a rag? Thanks, Bo. Bo's doing all the hard work now. Dinghy's in the water. Now let's see if it starts. Crap! I forgot my key. I'm holding this thing out because I forgot the key. Well, that was fun. Outboard's running nicely. All right, that's all done now.
This morning I'm starting to work on setting the bulwark up to be glassed over. There's this stuff called peel ply that you lay up over glass. What it does is creates here, let me look that up quick. Google. What does peel ply do? So peel ply just gives some texture and creates a smooth finish after laminating up some glass and epoxy. I don't have peel ply, so the next best thing would be this plastic. It doesn't create a textured finish, but because I'm doing almost a 90-degree bend, it'll just help hold the glass down as it's curing.
Okay, so I finished wiping down the entire bulwark and also putting plastic. Now I need to start cutting the glass. I'm gonna cut 24-inch pieces and work in 24-inch sections. So I've got to do 28 1.5-inch pieces of triax, followed by 28 2-inch pieces of chop strand, followed by 28 2.5-inch pieces of triax, followed by 28 3-inch pieces of chop strand. And then if I have enough, it all depends on what this roll is starting to look like. But I want to finish with 28 4-inch pieces of triaxle and chop strand. And the chop strand's just going to be like a sacrificial layer to go on top. That way when I go to grind it flat, I don't get rid of any of the rigidity and structure of the triaxle cloth. I'm done with the 1.5-inch strips. An escaped cow. I don't think I'm going to be able to take them. They're normally tied up just over here. All right, not my problem. The cows are going back home. And frick, was I in 17? Okay, so I'm gonna change up how I cut the glass a little bit. Before I was gonna do like triax, chop strand, triax, chop strand, triax, and then finish with chop strand as like a sacrificial layer. But now I'm gonna go triax, chop strand, and then 2 layers of triax. One's gonna go, if you look at this, here, I'll use a smaller piece. If you look at this, you can see the lines going up, and then you flip it around and there's 45 degrees. So what I'm gonna do is go triax and then chop strand, and then I'm going to put this down with the 45 facing up and then the other 45 facing on it, and I'm going to make it so that the vertical lines here are going perpendicular to each other. That way we've got the load being able to distribute on a bunch of different directions. And then the last layer will be chop strand.
I realized that this video doesn't have a whole lot of substance. It's just me going about my daily tasks and working at what needs to get done. That's not exactly exciting. I'm not one to try and sensationalize things, so what you see is what you get. And right now, that happens to be boring, monotonous jobs like sanding, grinding, and cutting fiberglass. Oh, how much I love cutting fiberglass. I literally had to do this for 2 days. I'm sure it's quite apparent, but owning a sailboat, especially an older boat like Dacia, requires a lot of upkeep, time, and money. Your support helps me continue to make this happen, so I'd like to thank those of you who stuck around during my break from YouTube, as well as anyone who might be new to my channel. Liking, subscribing, and commenting all do a lot to help me out. And of course, I would like to thank my patrons. You guys know who you are.
All right, here's number 27. I got one more to go.
There's a link in the description for anyone that's interested in becoming a patron.
Now I need to make 28 3.5-inch pieces. 28 layers of 3.5-inch wide triax done. And now I have to cut 28 layers of chop strand. The wind has ripped the tarps off my boat. It's very windy out today. Good morning. I don't know if this is just me or what, but whenever I'm in a big project like this, there's always points that I avoid. And an example of that would be back over here. I haven't really known what I wanted to do with this back spot for quite a while, and I was kind of avoiding it. But now I finally decided, can't really see it here, but there's wood on the outside, and it's kind of getting in the way, and it wasn't going to allow me to tab over the edge of this. And I didn't really want to remove it, but I decided last night that I'm going to. So the goal today, take this wood off, sand it down, grind down to the glass about 1 inch, and then cut the glass for this spot. That way I have all of my glass cut out and everything ready, and then tomorrow morning we're going to be putting glass down 100%. I'm going to put glass down tomorrow morning because this has been taking way too long. Sorry. I'm sure some people are probably cringing at me doing this. I don't blame you. I'm cringing. This kind of sucks. Now I'm gonna sand. So if you look here, you see that there's bolts. This was the hull to deck joint. And like we showed in the earlier episodes, there was a stringer type thing kind of glassed in, and that's what these screws are screwed into. Up here, this wood's actually not rotted, so the hull to deck joint's strong enough in this place. So instead of tabbing over the whole thing, I'm just going to be laying a piece of glass from here over to here over top of these screws. That'll completely seal this off and make it strong enough. Everybody's leaving the boatyard except for me. Soon I'm leaving the boatyard.
On next week's episode, I finally get started fiberglassing the bulwark. Watch a friend swallow fire. Do some more sanding, of course. And a storm threatens to tear the tarps right off my boat.